Hi everyone. Today I am going to do a book review on Beautiful Creatures. And yes, this is probably the very first time you are hearing me talking, but that's because in my makeup videos I decided not to talk because I thought it was more important to show you guys my makeup instead of talking. So this is my book review on Beautiful Creatures. Okay, so the story is about a guy named Ethan Waite. He's like 15 years old. He's a sophomore and he lives in the South in a town called Gatlin in South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina. And he finds that town boring as hell. And to be honest, that's pretty relatable because a lot of teenagers that live in small towns find small towns very boring. And also, his mother died, and I can really relate to that because my mother passed away, and as you can see behind me, that's a picture of her right there. And he just wants to get out. He can't wait until he gets out of Gatlin and goes to college, even though he's a sophomore, but hey, teenagers get impatient. And he has a shut-in dad because his dad is not getting over his mother's death. And the only kind of sort of family member he has left is an old woman named Alma, who's a voodoo person, who believes in magic and stuff like that and needs to protect her boy, is what she calls him, and he's very glad that she's in his life and everything. Oh, but I don't mean to like say anything random that has nothing to do with the story, but if you notice I talk a little funny, that's because I have a little bit of a cold. So my nose is a little stuffy. Anywho, back to the story. So Ethan goes to school, and apparently there's a new girl in school. Basically, her name is Lena Duquesne. Apparently she lives with her uncle Macon Ravenwood, who lives in Manor Ravenwood, which is a very big, haunted-like mansion that no one goes by because apparently he's the Boo Rally of the town, like from To Kill a Mockingbird, basically, which I also read, and it's an okay book. And Ethan finds out that she's a caster. And for those of you who never read the book, it's a little confusing to explain, but basically a caster is kind of like a witch, but not exactly, which they don't like being called witches. And they basically have these powers, so there's different kinds of casters, like naturals, like what Lena is, sirens, there's healing casters that can borrow the powers of other casters. I don't know what they're all called, but yeah, that's basically what the story's about. And basically, Lena has a curse in her family from the Civil War, and basically her ancestor and Ethan's ancestors were in love, and basically they find out that Ethan's great something uncle died while during the War of the South, and Genevieve, the ancestor of Lena, basically tried resurrecting him and ended up putting a curse on Lena's entire family, where her family can't choose to be either a light caster or a dark caster, and basically on everybody's 16th birthday, they are claimed. Like, their power is choose, like, no bitch, I'm gonna be a dark caster. Ooh, no, you're gonna be a light caster. They don't have any choice. I actually really love this book. This is my favorite. This has to be one of my most favorite books. I actually heard a little bit of it a couple years ago on audiobook, and I also read a graphic novel version of it in a couple months ago. And I loved this story. I absolutely love it. It is one of my most favorite stories. I love the characters. I love the story altogether. I love the world building. And I'm actually not too bad about it. I also like two most important things about it. One, I like the fact that it takes place in a guy's mindset. Now, the reason why I say that is because I do read a lot of books, especially YA fiction, and yeah, even though I love YA fiction, it can get a little bit boring reading the mind of a female. Like, I would actually not mind reading more about a guy's point of view, which is why I love Percy Jackson. Maybe I'll do a book review about that later. But anywho, yes, I love that book for that reason, and also Ethan's very relatable, especially with the whole deceased mother thing. And also, I really like Lena. I think she's really cool. And also, there's a point near the end of the book where you actually get to see of Lena's point of view, just a little thing. I'm not going to spoil what part of the book, but near the end, you actually do get to see her mindsets, which is okay. I don't mind that. I'm just glad that I'm finally reading books from more male point of views. Now, I'm not anti-female point of views. It just gets a little, yeah, we've seen this before. We've seen this. Give us something a little bit new, YA fiction, please. And this book, I think, was published in 2009 or 2010. I don't know, but it's kind of old. Not really that old, but it's been around for a couple of years. So, yeah. And the other thing I liked about it is that it takes place in the South. I really like that. I actually like the fact that it takes place other than the normal kind of up north urban kind of like towns. It takes place more down south, like South Carolina. I like that. And man, it is such a stereotypical boring town, Gatlin. Like, basically everybody knows everything. The bullies are very generic bullies, but that's part of the charm of it. Like, they're so generic, it's kind of amusing of just how generic they are. Like, Emily, the main bitch of the story, the one that makes Lena's life a living hell, she apparently used to date Ethan for, like, a little while before, like, a little after his mom died or something. I don't know. But basically, they dated for a little while, and it never went anywhere because apparently their homecoming date was a complete wreck. Oh yeah, another thing I really like about this book is that anyone, and I mean anyone who's gone to at least one homecoming dance, there's a dance in this book, like homecoming, prom, or whatever, they actually get that homecomings and proms usually suck. Because I've been to homecomings, and I've been to, like, in-between dances, and I also been to prom. And my prom, I wouldn't say it sucked, but it wasn't really that great. I'm not going to go into detail about my life. I just wanted to let you know that anyone who's gone to a homecoming or prom knows what I'm talking about. Like, this book just speaks to high school students. They understand the boring town. They understand the stupid bullies. They understand how lifeless your high school can be, of how high school dances, even though they put a lot of money and a lot of effort to at least make them look good, they always end up sucking because apparently bullies love to make your life a living hell even on nights where they shouldn't. And yeah, that's basically what happens in the story. A lot of chaos happens. Lena's scared out of her mind. And I actually want to mention something really quickly. I watched a YouTuber once where she mentioned while she was reading this book, she was starting to find Lena Duquesne very annoying. And I'm like, and as I'm reading this book, I'm like, yeah, she kind of does say a little too much. You don't understand, Ethan. You don't know what I'm going through. Yeah, that does get a little annoying. If you're not somebody that's into that kind of thing, you might find that a little annoying too. I mean, you might find it very annoying, but hey, it's YA fiction. Like, it's kind of hard to try to change up a bit sometimes if you just try to become an author. It happens. And that is all I'm going to say. I would like to say more, but some of you might not want to be spoiled, so I'm going to be nice. And this is my first book review, so good night. Have a nice day. I hope you like my book review. And see you soon. Peace.